Hi, everyone. Welcome to Dolls in the Cradle. My name is Anne. Today is Friday. I had to think about that for a minute. It's Friday. And I have a blanket reveal of a little one that joined the nursery during my spring reborn baby fever. And this little one is absolutely stunning, and it is the ultimate reborn doll without a COA because it doesn't need one. It is an authentic reborn doll, and I cannot wait to share this little one with you. She is so stunning, so beautiful, and I am so happy to have her in my nursery, in my collection. And without further ado, shall we? We're going to take away the blanket. Here is the feet. She is a very long baby. I think she's 21 inches. 21, 22. She definitely is a 0 to 3 month. And voila. Voila. Let's take out her pacifier so you can see her face. She takes a full pacifier. And let me bring her up so you can see her face. Isn't she gorgeous? Let me take the... Does anyone know who this is? Any guesses? Anybody know who this is? This is an authentic reborn baby that doesn't require a COA. She's one of a kind, and there's no other doll like her that's painted exactly like her. And this is a Berenguer baby. So this is a Berenguer baby, and Berenguer babies are made in Spain, I believe. So this kit, or this doll, the whole doll, it comes as a whole doll. The whole doll was purchased by LaDonna Briggs. I think it's Pumpkin Spice Nursery. Everybody, not everyone, but most people know who LaDonna Briggs is. You can see her little ones, and you can adopt her little ones off of eBay. Literally, she is the only seller on eBay that I actually have purchased a doll from in the past, and this one currently, because she's incredible. She's also a prototype artist. She has prototype babies out there, but that's neither here nor there because we're looking at this little girl, and she is absolutely stunning. Look what she's done to this basic Berenguer baby. She is reborn, this little one, and she's so gorgeous. Look at her hair. Oh my gosh, isn't she so adorable? And look, for a Berenguer baby, isn't she so big? So I have had her since, let's see, since, I'm trying to think. Look at this, in this knitted outfit. Oh my gosh. LaDonna Briggs, she always dresses her little one that comes to you just amazing. Gorgeous, gorgeous legs. Look at this baby. So just by looking at her, you can see why people started painting the Berengers, because they wanted more authentic, realistic looking reborn new. They wanted realistic dolls, and because the Berengers are made so realistically in their vinyl, in their sculpt form, artists would come in and they would take Berengers, and I'm sure other dolls like Berengers, and reborn them. And that's what makes her an authentic reborn doll. Even more authentic than authentic. Okay, let me take this off of her. She's so cute. So there are a couple of things I need that I want to do is I'm going to take some of the stuffing out of her body right here so that she's floppy, because I do want her floppy. So the next time you see her on camera, most of this is going to be gone so she can curl up really nice. But for now, I wanted to show her to you as she came. So she would have come with a hard body. And LaDonna took the hard body off and she gave her a cloth body. Love this doll. Okay, I'm going to make a quick little topic video because y'all, I got to talk about Once Upon a Child and I don't have anything good to say. I really don't. So I know because I've seen videos of other people's Once Upon a Child. You know, it's spacious. There's rooms between the aisles. It's wonderful. There's such a nice variety. And, you know, a few years ago, like 3 years ago, when I first started going and looking, they had some really nice sales. Oh, by the way, you guys, before I go, she's wearing Simple Joy's Carter. She's going into this long sleeve onesie. It's white and a peach striped onesie. Then she's got these gray pants that have the peachy pink flowers and the yellow ochre and the blue flowers. And then there is this little vest that flares at the waist, that buttons in the front, that goes on top of that. And this is a set, and it's 0 to 3 months. Because I'm thinking that will be the size to fit her. So this is her first change. And by the way, before I go any further with my story, I decided to name her LaDonna because after the person who reborned her, LaDonna Briggs. First, you know, I just think LaDonna is such a beautiful name, and I can't believe I haven't used it on any of the dolls that I've had in the past from her. But this one is just different. This is a Berenguer that has been beautifully reborn, and she's special to me. She will always be special to me. All right, let's get back to Once Upon a Child. All right. So, lately, when I've gone to Once Upon a Child, I just walk out disgusted. Because the clothes, number one, I don't know, it's like, you would think, and especially since I went to sell some clothes there this week, y'all, never ever will I ever take clothes to Once Upon a Child to ever sell again because it was redunculous. So what I do know is that all Once Upon a Childs are privately owned, and they're all run by individual people, not a company, and therefore they have their own rules for their stores. Okay, the things that they will accept and that they won't accept, or whatever the case may be. Okay, get it, understand it. I do. I understand that. For me personally, the thing I wouldn't want is dingy looking clothes. Clothes that have definitely seen its better days and just really, looks like, something that should have just really either been some kind of recycled or repurposed or, thrown in the trash can for that matter of fact. But yeah, her head, she will look so much better when I remove this because then her head won't go back so much like that. I hate it when their heads go back, but yeah, she's so pretty. Look at that mouth. I love open mouths on babies. She had 3 different types of Berengers this size when I purchased her, but they were all different. And oh my gosh, when I saw this one, it was like, yes, please. Yes, please. But yeah, so I also wanted to bring her on to show you her before I show all my Berengers, because I do have a little collection of Berenger dolls. I do have one that is this size, but it's not reborn, and it's got the hard body as well. Okay, let's get back to Once Upon a Child. All right, so I spent some time. I took all the baby clothes out, and I chose what I'm keeping. I decided what I wanted to give away. And at first I was like, I'm just going to take them over to the thrift store because that's what I always do. But I thought, these are such nice clothes, right? And there's nice things. Like, not only did I have the clothes that I was giving away, that I had in the box, but also, her head is killing me. Okay. Not only did I have the clothes, can you tuck your thumb? She's so cute. So not only did I have clothes, but, there's also a lot of loveys and stuffed animals that I've received in box openings. I mean, it was a box full. And the majority of them still had tags on them because I've just never used them. They're kind of like pacifiers and stuff like that. It's, it's nice, but I don't use them. And I don't really do collections of loveys or stuffed animals or anything like that. I'm just about the dolls, really, and the clothes. So lots of wonderful things. Everything was like brand new. All the clothes have never been worn by a baby. They, hadn't been washed. They looked brand new, everything. Some things even had tags on them, okay? And those were some clothes that I got in box openings that I didn't particularly, like. So, but, they were new, they were tagged, whatever. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go to Once Upon a Child. I am going to sell some stuff, and then I'm just going to buy Yummy, who is my biggest doll, and she doesn't have a lot of clothes. I'm going to buy her like 4 or 5 outfits for the year. That's what she'll have for this year. And so we get there, and, they tell us, oh, it's going to be 35 minutes or something like that, right? For them to go through it if I just wanted to wait in the store. So decided, okay, this is fine. I'm going to walk around. I'm going to look at everything that they have, and I'm going to, find some clothes for Yummy, because I wanted to find some dresses. Because her legs are so thick, I'd rather just put dresses on her and not struggle with putting pants on her. And she looks good in dresses. So while I'm looking and doing all of that, I'm also just browsing the entire store. And the time comes, I go up there. They're not even hardly started to do anything. And I'm like, okay, I understand that, things take time. Of course I do. But don't quote me a time if it's going to be so off. And then, knowing that I'm in the store, you could have just said, hey, this is going to take like an hour and a half. Why don't you go eat or something and come back, right? So, okay, they're not done. So I go continue to look. I look at the baby carriages. I go back to the toy section. And mostly what I see in the toy section is junk. I shit you not, and excuse my language, but it's mostly junk. Lots of Fisher Price big chunky sets that are not a full set of anything, yet you purchase these from people to sell, and it doesn't look like to me anyone's buying it, just really crappy looking toys that should have been honestly said, no, we can't take this, right? they have the dolls that are like American Girl dolls. They have like 5 of those stuck on the wall up front. Um, they're selling them for like $25, $30 or something like that. And I'm just like, you know what? That's still, in my opinion, way too much for the doll, especially if you saw the condition that the American Girl dolls were in. It's not like they were pristinely kept or anything like that. They were played with by kids. They look like it. They look like they had been carried around by their hair, and they were asking all that. So then I'm going through the clothing section for 2T, right? That is what Yummy fits because she's so fat. And I'm looking at everything. The majority of the clothes just, and maybe it's me. Maybe I don't get it. But I have purchased secondhand clothes, from thrift stores, from Goodwills, from all of those places that looked nice. Yes, they might have looked like they have been worn before, but they were still nice and had plenty of use left in them. These things that were over there look like they had been washed like 1,000 times. They were dull. They were just not the best things. It took me a long time to find 4 or 5 outfits for her. And finally, when they said, okay, we're ready for you, and we go back up front, I took 3 big boxes. Out of the 3 big boxes, she hands me 1 entire box back, slap full of stuff. And I was like, I'm like, what? What? Oh, we can't use those things. And I'm like, really? So, there are clothes in there that still have tags on them. Brand new, never been worn. There is Next Baby, clothing in there that has never been worn by a baby. They did not take those clothes. They did not take any of the Gerber clothes. She's like, we don't take Gerber clothes here. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I'm not sure why that would be, but okay, it's their store. But the amount of stuff that they purchased was like $38 worth of stuff. So I didn't even spend any money getting Yummy's things. I just did a complete exchange on that. But then I had this big box of all of these brand new stuffies with tags on them and loveys and a few blankets that I had in there from box openings that were brand new, never been used. And I saw that they did have blankets back there and their blankets they had back there looked funky, right? They didn't look as nice as the ones I had. And I'm thinking, what the hell, man? What the hell? And I guess I wouldn't have been so pissed if they had told me in the beginning there are certain things that they couldn't take, okay? I'd never done this before. Maybe I should have done my research, but I didn't know, right? Also, they were kind of abrupt and a little bit rude when customers were coming in. It was like, it was not a really good experience. And I've been in this store many a times and had good experiences, but going in there to sell and what I got for the amount of wonderful clothes was disgusting, number one. Number two, the things that they wouldn't take, Next Baby, Gerber, you wouldn't take, what was it? It was another brand. It was a European brand. Beautiful, beautiful little outfits that I had. Wouldn't take it. And I was just like, oh my God. So anyways, after spending all of that time there, can I just say hour and 45 minutes? Okay, you told me 30 minutes. And then you kept telling me it'll be done in just a minute. I don't know what the hell a minute is to y'all, but that's not what my minutes are. So I was really disgusted, but I kept my cool, I kept my cool. But So I did that, but vowed as I was leaving the store to myself, I will never come back in the store again. And I mean what I say. I won't go back to them ever again. Also, the prices on the clothes that they had were higher than prices at clothes that you can get at Walmart. And I was just like, have they lost their minds? And so I left. I had the box. We were going to go to the Chinese restaurant. I was really hungry by then. And I was saying in the car, I'm just going to put free baby items because it was a big box. And there was a Goodwill right next to the Chinese buffet. And I said, I'm just going to take this box and I'm going to set it right here in the grassy area under this tree between both stores, away from the stores, but more towards the parking lot. You couldn't help but see it. And that's what I was going to do. So whoever came by, if they saw it free and they wanted it, they could have it. But instead, when I pulled up, as I was getting out of the car, a young couple with a baby was coming to their car right next to me. And I asked the mom, I'm like, hi. I said, I've got this big box of baby things. There's boy and girl things in there, but there's a lot of toys and stuff in there as well, and some blankets. And if you would like it, I would like to give it to you. And she was just like, really? For free? And I'm like, yes, for free. And she was so happy. Her husband got out and thanked me, and they put it in the back of their car. And that was that. So I was able to finally feel good. Once I gave that box of clothes away, it was like it dissolved all the other crap that had just happened. And I was just so happy. And I wished I had just took all that stuff with me and was able to give all that stuff to her, because that would have been awesome, right? I would have rather given it away all for free than go through the just the weirdness of what happened at Once Upon a Child. So anywho, those will be the last clothes that Yummy gets from there ever. Next year. She's got 5 outfits. That's all she needs for the year. Because she's a big girl and I don't dress her often. She's, I carry her around the house actually, but I don't have a desire to change her clothes because she's too big. But I love her. So the next time I will just suck it up, Buttercup, go to Walmart, and I will purchase her some new clothes, 5 outfits for the year, and be done with it. I had already stopped going there for baby clothes, like little ones' clothes like this, but after that experience, that was enough for me. They're just crazy, and their prices are too high on the clothes that don't even look good. All right. Number 2, their toy section is like a bunch of garbage back there. I don't even know why they accepted it, but wouldn't accept nice things. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Number 3, consignment shops and stuff, not consignment shops, but shops like that should have, they should have, limits on the things that they take. However, if you're not schooled at name brand clothes, and if you take a brand like Gerber, which is a huge brand, and God only knows what other brands, and you don't want nothing to do with them. Oh, I think some onesie brands also they didn't take, which I don't understand. I just don't understand. They took all the Carters. So that's it. That's my rant for today. Why we look at Miss Little LaDonna, a Berenger baby that was reborn by LaDonna Briggs. And I'm gonna go now because I'm gonna make some Japanese soup. I have the jasmine rice in the rice cooker, and I'm gonna eat like a pig here in a few minutes. So until next time, I will see you all in my next video. Little LaDonna and I say, remember that no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. And thankfully I was kind, but I was not going to lie. I was calling them some ugly names up under my breath. And if I didn't say I wasn't, I would be a liar. So, I got to be truthful on that. They piss me off. All right, that's it. Got to go. Love you all. Bye.